Hello, welcome to the pumpkin tutorial, demonstration, reel, shorts, video, whatever you want to call it, I'm making it. We're going to start with some DK yarn. You're going to need a 4.5mm hook. I'm using a clover hook. You're going to need a large-eyed needle and some fibre fill. You're going to start by doing chain 15. This is for the smallest pumpkin, the baby one. I'm doing an voiceover here because I can never talk and hook at the same time, like my brain just would be fried. So we're going to chain 15 and then we're going to do an extra one, so you've got a chain one, so there's 16 chains. That chain one doesn't count as a stitch. We're going to go ahead and do 15 half double crochets into the chain stitches. So that's one half double crochet, the second half double crochet into the next chain, third half double crochet into the next chain, and we're going to go on to the end of the row. I'm hoping you can hear the music I've got on in the background here for you, a little bit of cyberpunk. It's so slow watching it like this, isn't it? When you watch it in the reels and it's all sped up, super fast, you forget how slow crochet really is. Sorry if you can see my hands shaking a little bit in the video. Some of you may know I have a spinal condition. It affects me neurologically as well. It can make my hands shake a bit. It is what it is. I can still do the job. When you get to the end, you are going to chain one and turn your work, and then we are going to work the next half double crochets into the back loops only. So we're going to do 15 again down the row, working into the back loops only. So that's half double crochets in the back loops only. And we're going to do the same when we get to the end of this row. We're going to chain one and turn our work. So we've now done 2 rows. We're going to chain one and turn. Start our 3rd row. Again, we're working into the back loops only, half double crochets, 15 along in each stitch space to the end of the row. And as we reach the end of the row, we are going to do the same. We're going to chain 1 and turn our work and start the 4th row. We're going to do 20 rows in total. Again, working along to the end of the row and half double crochets into the back loop only. Chain 1 and turn the work again and start the next row. There is a little bit of camera magic coming up in a minute, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do all 20 rows. And we're going to do the same at the end of this row. We're going to chain 1 and turn. I think it's after this row that it jumps up to the completion of the rows. But I'm sure you can get the idea now of what we're doing. So that's 15 half double crochets worked into the back loop only, and chain 1 at the end to turn the work. I think this, yep, this is where the camera magic happened. So we've now got 20 rows. We're going to turn the work. And now we are going to be slip stitching across the top of both of the layers. So we're going through the front side into the back side to join them. And now we're going to work across the top of both layers, slip stitching through both layers as we go. So this is going to join the two ends together. Just slip stitching it through both layers, going along in each stitch space to the end of the row. So you'll have 15 slip stitches when you reach the end. as we reach the end of this slip stitching, we're going to fasten off. You're going to need quite a long tail now, so as you can see, quite a few inches. We're now going to thread our needle. As you can see, my editing skills are not the best, but I'm learning and getting there. A little bit jumpy. So we're going to go ahead and thread our needle there. And now we are going to be weaving in along the row ends of the top. So just weaving it in and out. In one side, out the other, on each row end. You're going to be pulling this tightly to close up the top hole. This forms the bottom of the pumpkin. Now pull that nice and tight. I knot it off with the smaller tail end just to make sure it's secure. Apologies if you can hear the neighbours' dogs in the background. You're going to need your fibre fill now. You're going to flip your pumpkin inside out once you've weaved up the seam where you joined it on the ends. That's it, just weaving it up so we can get our tail end to the top of the pumpkin. You're just weaving in and out of those stitches as you go up the seam. Now you're going to flip it inside out. There you go, the bottom of your pumpkin. Now you're going to stuff it with your fibre fill. You don't want to overstuff it because then you can see the white through the stitches. So nice and squishy still, not too firm. A blue hair, I can't even get out of it, you can't hide my hair. So you can close it up nicely without it all spilling out of the top. So we're going to weave along the top of the row ends like we did for the bottom, in and out across the top, and then we're going to be pulling it closed. I tend to pull mine as I go. You can do it all in one hit at the end. So now we're going to pull it nice and tight. You will get a little dent in the side, but this forms one of the ridges on the pumpkin. Just do a little knot there to make sure it's secure and not going to reopen. Last thing we want is a bursting pumpkin. Just a couple of little knots there just to secure it in place. So now you've got the bum of the pumpkin. So just wind that around like that and back through the bottom, through to the top hole. Give a little tug. That makes that seam more defined. Just a little knot to keep that ridge in place. I normally do 3 or 4 for each pumpkin depending on the size that I've done it. The small ones sometimes only need 3. You can kind of just work out where placement would be best. I'm going to go straight through the middle again to the bottom. And we're going to form the next ridge of the pumpkin by pulling that tight. And we're going to do another little knot in the bottom just to secure that ridge in place. Yep. There we go with another ridge. Now you can see the pumpkin starting to form shape. Every time you do a ridge, just do a little knot just to secure it so it doesn't come loose again. 1 or 2 knots is normally good enough. So you can see I decided to put a 4th one in there. And this is our pumpkin nearly finished. Well, the crochet part of it anyway. So do 2 or 3 knots on the last one just to secure it all. You don't want it coming undone. And then just squish it around, arrange it to how you like it. Cut the tail end off. Get your hot glue gun ready. And I use old brooches, old clip earrings, you know, all the junk jewellery you find in the charity shop. I bling these pumpkins up with it. How cute does that look? And that's it. We're done. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. A little cheesy thumbs up there. Cheers.